it's garbage. To me, it's garbage.
Now, the creator of the imaginary crusader with violent ways is telling his critics, get real.
I think moms and dads are just a little overprotective at times.
Parents never did care much for comic books, but the hottest comic book out today has some moms and dads really fuming. It's called Spawn. The subjects are anything from sexism to racism, and most surprising, it's the #1 bestseller. Mary Garofalo has the story.
Superhero comics are just kid stuff, right? Wrong. Today's comics have come a long way since Superman first burst on the scene to rescue Lois Lane. Now there's a new Caped Crusader on the block. His name is Spawn, and believe it or not, he's bigger than Batman. He even sells more than Superman. Spawn is the #1 comic book in the country. It's sold more than 50 million copies worldwide. And kids from 12 to 35 say he's more true to life than any other superhero.
I think he's more realistic than most comic heroes because there are no real good guys and bad guys in the world anymore. They're just people trying to do the right thing.
I think it teaches little kids a lot more about real life as opposed to, just kind of bam sock kind of comic book.
Situations that happen to catch this character, they're incredible.
Like other comic book characters, Spawn's mission is to right wrongs and fight demons. Controversial Spawn rushes in where no superhero has gone before. He confronts real-life horrors like homelessness, child abuse, and domestic violence. It's not your usual comic book fare, and it's certainly not funny. But store owners say it's flying off the shelves.
The most popular comic book we have is Spawn. We sell a couple of hundred issues a month.
But to parents like Dr. Mary Williams Ahmed, that's a couple of hundred issues too many.
I do not want children reading this garbage. To me, it's garbage.
Mary first heard about Spawn when she took her 7-year-old son Marzak to buy a Looney Tunes comic book in their hometown of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Instead of Daffy Duck, little Marzak picked up Spawn with its graphic depictions of hangings, shootings, and other brutalities. His mother was horrified.
As I was examining the front cover page, immediately I fell to the floor in a sitting position. And I became very emotional by what I had seen in this particular comic book.
Mary was stunned when she came across the story of a black family terrorized by the Ku Klux Klan.
This is a direct quote from issue 30. Tell us another one, comma, you black-faced monkey, period. If you had any brains, you'll move months ago and taken your mutant son and slut wife with you. That was a very offensive statement.
The comic book so enraged this Midwestern mom that she became a crusader herself, launching a one-woman campaign to get Spawn off the shelves. She wrote letters to her senator, published a newspaper article, even went from store to store buying up every copy she could find so there would be none left to sell.
I felt like it should not be in the hands of children.
But what's really wrong with comic books used as a medium to educate children?
If this is the medium that we are going to be using in the future in terms of intervention and prevention measure and educating our children in relation to violence, crime, sexism, then this is a very sad day in America.
I think moms and dads are just a little overprotective at times with their kids, and I think they need to give time for things to kind of evolve.
Todd McFarlane is the creator of Spawn. 3 years ago, this former Spider-Man artist left the corporate world to start his own company, Image Comics, giving him freedom to make his own rules. With its gruesome depictions of blood and gore, Spawn doesn't conform to the self-imposed industry standards of the Comic Code Authority. Todd says Spawn's raw edge mirrors his own rebellious spirit.
I have a character that's not afraid because I, own everything and nobody's going to tell me what to do.
What is your answer to people that look at it, just see images, children with guns in their hands, blowing away their parents?
I just resent the parents don't give the children credit, and worse than that, intelligence. I'm not afraid to take on subjects that basically Superman or Batman wouldn't, because I think it's a slice of life.
But it's a slice of life that some children are not ready for, according to child psychiatrist Eric Benjamin.
I don't think there's any redeeming value in what's being done here. I think it's exploitation of very, very tragic things that happen in this society. By sensationalizing them, it does more harm than good. And that's, working with these kids all the time. This doesn't help them.
But Todd says ignoring the tough issues kids have to face doesn't help either.
I was actually surprised at how many of my readers have had some kind of physical or emotional abuse in their life, or at least what they perceive to be that kind of abuse. So, again, I don't do these tales to basically do something dramatic or whatever. It's just that every now and then, I just think we need to speak about certain subjects.
Mary believes those subjects should be kept out of kids' reach until they're ready. She's lobbying for legislation that would force stores to put graphic comic books like Spawn in a separate area all by themselves.
No person should have to be exposed to that type of trash. And this is the war that I'm going to join if I'm going to join any war in America, and that is to protect the lives of innocent children.
Parents, there is no relief in sight. Just like Superman, Spawn is headed to Hollywood with a TV series and a movie in the works.